My talk is called When Awesome is Isolating, and I'm actually going to be talking about that because I think what you'll notice if you go to a lot of hackathons, and I'll start this off by saying that the most fun month I had this year was September, when I went to a hackathon every weekend, and it was really awesome. And I loved it because I was inside. And then if you go back and look at all the people that didn't go, or look at all the people that tried to go and it didn't work out for them, that it was a really bad experience. And they don't talk about it because they're not posting on Facebook like I was about how exciting it was. So anyway, that's why I'm really invested in this. And so is ADI. ADI is the Application Development Initiative, but we'll get started. So yeah, I'm part of ADI at Columbia. We do a lot of different things, but one of the things we do is we run DEVFEST. DEVFEST is this week. It's actually a week-long hack experience. I almost said hackathon, but actually, DEVFEST is not a hackathon. DEVFEST is 6 days of workshops and learning that happens, and then there's a 18-hour hackathon at the end of the week. DEVFEST is not ADI's most important event. Now, that's like weird for a lot of people. A lot of clubs, it's you build up and then you have the hackathon. It's like, oh my God, that was the best thing ever. DEVFEST is by far ADI's longest event, but it's not the most important one. We have an event called Cookies and Code, which is the core of what we stand for and what we believe in. Cookies and Code is a pretty simple idea. Every Wednesday from 10 to 12, we buy you cookies and you come and hang out in a room with all of us. It's a great experience for people to come and ask questions if you don't know something, to work on projects, to just eat cookies and hang out, to work on homework. It doesn't matter. We bring each other together every week and sit in a room, and we're friends. We make friends. You make friends at this event. And so what we wanted to do is bring Cookies and Code was also our most successful event, actually, because it brought people together in a way that we felt was really powerful, and we weren't seeing around our school, and we definitely weren't seeing at our hackathon, and we weren't seeing at other hackathons, bringing people together like this. Every single person could talk to every other single person. That's really powerful. So we wanted to bring that to DEVFEST. DEVFEST is about education. DEVFEST is about educating people so that they have the power to build what they want to do, even if what they want to do is not make the coolest app. It's not about making something that kicks ass and wins first place. It's about learning how to build something and empowering you to do what you want to do. And it doesn't have to be the thing that judges think is most technically challenging and wins you $500. That's not what's important. DEVFEST is also about community. That's what Cookies and Code was for us. It was bringing people together and letting people interact in a natural way. People don't come to Cookies and Code and talk about Ruby and Python. They do, of course, somewhat, but they come to Cookies and Code to talk about their lives. It's not just about, oh, how hacker are you? I'm more hacker than you, so I'm better. It's not about that. It's about people, and we talk about philosophy, and we make jokes, and we're silly and fun. That's what it's about. So we wanted to make DEVFEST about community, not about hacking. DEVFEST is about building, though. It's not like we say, oh, if you're really into building something, you're super technically challenging, you have no space at DEVFEST. It's true, we focus on the beginners a lot at DEVFEST because we think that's the biggest growth area, and I'll talk about growth in a little bit, but it's about building too, because people can build amazing things when they work together with their community. So you can't leave that out, but notice that came third. First it was education, then it was community, and then it was building. Hackathon should not be about building a cool thing, because the cool thing only lasts for a week. Maybe it turns into a startup, but chances are it doesn't. You want to build something that lasts. So can real learning happen in a hackathon? That's my question. My answer is yes, otherwise I wouldn't be standing here, obviously. I'm going to talk about what we did, and this slide is a little bit of a mess, I apologize, but I had to get it all in one slide so I could talk about it at once. So this is a curriculum that I and some other ADI members wrote. It's 20 hours of content. It's located this URL right there, but what it is an introduction to web development for people that have maybe had one programming class and no web development experience. What we do on Saturday is we do Intro to Python, and then that was yesterday. This is happening this week, by the way. Monday, we do Intro to Flask, and then we do APIs, then HTML and templating, and CSS on Thursday. So Throughout the whole week, we actually work in reverse, starting with what they know. They know a programming language, so we teach them Python, which is going to be similar. They know what a variable is. We teach them that. And then we teach them Flask, which is just Python with some added features. And then we take them slowly into the web app. And by the end of the week, people are actually able to build web apps on their own. So during the hackathon, people that have never built something before, they've only done, greatest subsequent sum in an array in Java, can build a web app that they are proud of. So, and we also host it on GitHub, it's open source. And we are actually teaching it. I am teaching 2 hours every night this week. And then there's 4 hours of open hack time where TAs answer questions. All these are students, by the way. So the symptoms we were seeing in our hackathons were, we've seen them all, first-time strugglers, attendees much greater than the number of people that actually demo because they're not confident in their app, and obviously the hackathon schedule, we have to talk about newbies, so we know it's a problem, right? And people say this, I'm not smart enough to, are you going to DEVFEST this year? Oh no, I'm not smart enough, I don't know if I can do that. These are experienced computer science people, but they don't have the confidence, they don't think it's for them. So obviously it's a problem, we all know that. I'm gonna sort of slide through this, but hackathons are intimidating. Hackathon culture, rankings, MLH.io is really impressive for the hackathon community, but it also makes hackathons about winning and not about learning and not about meeting people. Because if you met 100 people at Hack and Y and didn't get any points, what was the point, right? So it puts the focus in the wrong area. And by the way, that picture comes up when you Google search hackathon. Why is when you Google search hackathon, does it not come up with a picture of smiling faces? It comes up with that picture. Right? And obviously the prizes make it about winning and not about people. So what doesn't work? IRC help rooms, I had to throw that one in because I've never seen someone that doesn't know how to use a computer use an IRC room effectively. They're great for experienced people. Same with mentors. Mentors are great for people that aren't afraid to talk to mentors. Mentors, obviously, people put the mentors up on an amazing platform because they're so amazing. But as a result, if you are a little shy or timid, you're not going to be able to talk to these supermen. So you have to bring people down to earth by having them be student mentors that you talk to. It's just your friends. You're just asking your friends a question. It's much easier than going up to someone who everyone's like, oh my God, Swift is the most amazing person ever, which I do agree with. But, it makes you hard to talk to, right? And intro Git. So this never works. When you do intro Git for an hour and then say, all right, go build your app. How many hackathons have an hour-long intro API talk, 2 hours in, and then they're like, all right, you have 20 hours, go build an app. That doesn't work. You have to be comprehensive about it. You have to be a group of people that actually teaches and puts the effort into teaching. So what works? Helpful peers. Everyone demos. So it doesn't matter. It's not about, oh, well, if your app's good enough, you might get to show it off. If you made an app, you show it off. I believe that firmly. I went to Penn Apps and I didn't get to show it off, and that was a bummer for me. I don't think I deserved to show it off. It's not like I was one of the best 20, and I don't think that it makes sense logistically to have 10 hours of demos, so I understand why Penn Apps does that, but I didn't get to demo. So that's a factor of size, obviously, in logistics, but that's something we have to deal with. And I think that we'll be talking about size later today, but I think everyone demoing is really important for people feeling like they're part of it. And obviously familiar faces. If you have a hackathon where you don't know anyone, you're not gonna make friends. Because the way you make friends with people in real life, unless you're drunk at a party, is that your friends introduce you to your friends. And then you get friends with new friends. So you have to have familiar faces at hackathons. It can't be so impossible to meet people. My point here is that ADI doesn't stop after DevFest. We had 61 events last semester, over 120 this year, in 2013 rather. We bring people together all year, and then during the hackathon, you get to show it off. A hackathon is a culmination of the community that you are building. Some hackathons are about hacker communities. At Columbia, we make DevFest about the community of builders and the community of developers, and the community of people that like tech, and the community of people that think other people doing tech is cool. All of these people are welcome at our hackathon. It's not about, can you rip the most code? It's not about, can you build the best app? It's about everyone. And so this worked, by the way. We got 4 times the number of signups while only accepting Columbia students to DevFest because we advertised it as a, do you know how to code but want to learn how to build something real? We'll teach you. You can come and build and you will demo. We got 4 times as many signups, and then we got 3 times as many rooms for the workshops. My workshop had to be replicated by 2 other people and run in 3 rooms consecutively in order to fit the number of people that wanted to learn. People want to learn. Yeah, so we had 200 people sign up for DevFest for the past 2 years, and this year we had 850 people sign up for DevFest. All Columbia students. Everyone gives us a uni, which is a unique identifier. Our CS department is 300 people. So it's not about widening our geographical scope to find more people like us. It's about widening our scope to find more people. We had 350 people come to workshops in one day.